There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one. I love Formula Drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I see that. That's mine. He rejects your reality and inserted his own. This is a stimulator, right?
Pilot.
The pole petition.
Matt Shulman still on top with the 69.
Gotcha! Grip this.
Gentlemen, I declare malarkey.
Straight killing the game, make it fools miss. This is a horrible experiment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Timbo. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Doing a little tired after hearing your whole story of how you had to go all these flights and not sleep, and makes me tired just thinking about it. But
Oh, really?
Yeah, otherwise pretty good.
Okay.
But doing a lot of research.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, but
What kind of project are you working on?
well, it's research on a topic, but a topic that I was going to bring up today, but since it's just me and you, it's something I'd rather either have Noel or Paul, somebody else, along for the ride to give their take on it, right? Because it's a topic of discussion.
Okay.
And it needs to be discussed.
Right.
Because it's kind of disgusting. It's not disgusting. Could be disgusting.
Right.
Depending on what you're thinking about here.
Yes, but it's a deep discussion.
Oh, very deep. Super deep.
Okay. I guess we could start off with what almost put you to sleep.
Yes.
And talking about my trip over to California.
Mm-hmm.
And the original premise was I had found a vehicle of interest to me, but of great vein and
well, it's California, so
yeah. But so they were pretty abundant over there. But I made that joke, and luckily it kind of paid off, because at first you were just like ready to abandon this ship, because you wanted no part in any electrification.
Nope.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want my vehicles to be electrified, other than the alternator and the battery.
In any case, but not the case. You were punked, and what ended up happening was Hotpit Autofest round 3 was taking place over at Irwindale Speedway. What was a bit of a journey was getting there, because my flight out of here was at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and I got to LAX at midnight.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to the hotel till about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had to kind of not get much sleep after, because wake up, get ready, get breakfast, go to the event, so that way then I could at least get to the media meeting that was obviously mandatory, and it was the only one that they were going to administer at the event at 11:30 in the morning. So, there we go. So, 11:30 in the morning. So I didn't really get a chance to kind of take in some of the things, some of the sights and the sounds. You didn't warn me about some things, but luckily I didn't really have any major issues to worry about. But one of the things that one of the takeaways from it from the start was I always had this sense of, like, Irwindale has always been this sort of sense of like grand place, because obviously they make it seem larger than life, since it's the House of Drift, and
it's almost like this mystical castle of drift,
or a
Colosseum, this mystical ancient Colosseum of drift that you've only seen through the eyes of a viewer from online or on television, and it's almost like going to your grandma's house and realizing, wow, it's not as big as I remember it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for me also is just the my experience in the simulator with driving through the course. And it's just like you said, it wasn't, I mean, the scale of it wasn't 1-to-1. Like I was expecting it to be just more grand and larger than life, and it was just like, well, it's not, this is it.
Yeah, it looks like a massive high speed track,
Right.
but it's not really.
I mean, to me it wasn't.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how other people feel about it, but from an outsider going in for the first time, I was just like, okay, that's all right, cool, all right, I guess we could work with it. But the other aspect of it was just getting back into the photographer saddle, if you even want to call it that, because I haven't done any sort of media like that. And oftentimes we'll, like, over in the announcers booth, we crack jokes at the media guys that are in the islands trying to
in the way, and
trying to dodge vehicles or debris or any sort of things that, or just weathering all the crazy elements that the weather has thrown at them.
plus you were suffering from sleep deprivation,
Right.
Because you didn't really get much sleep either.
Yeah.
So it's very dangerous, Ben.
Yes, correct. But it wasn't that much of a problem. Yes, I could say, and you could argue that perhaps I was a bit ignorant towards
Ignorant.
what?
Ignorant.
Oh, okay, all right. I was ignorant to perhaps any issues that I may have been experiencing, but I think I was just so caught up in the moment of where I was at and the whole situation that it really didn't. To me, I didn't feel like I was affected by it.
Okay.
And it was just a thing where I'm here, I made it, got a job to do, and got to try to do it as well as I can.
You got some good shots.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, got some good shots, and seemed like you met some new people.
Right. Yeah. One of the interesting takeaways from it was just the staff, and I think we mentioned before is that oftentimes the staff of any drift event doesn't get enough credit in regards to just what they have to go through just to put this crazy circus, put it all together. And it's not only just a matter of just having to deal with having to deal with the track itself and the track officials, the track owners, because oftentimes they're difficult to work with.
Yeah.
And it's very, how can I say this? It's like, it just doesn't come so often that when it actually happens, you're like, oh my God, like this is amazing. This is the best thing. But then having to deal with media people that either don't read their emails properly or don't pay attention to all the rules and the guidelines and everything, and don't understand that it's like, yeah, these things are written down and set there for not only your safety, but for everyone's safety.
So you mean like, I could just show up my camera, bro. I want to take some pictures, bro.
That, exactly. Or they have like in this case, they had a predetermined path for you to get to the certain boxes on the track.
Oh, like a yellow brick road?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like if you want to go to box 1 to 2, then you got to go this way.
Right.
But if you want to get to box 3 from 1, don't go from box 1 to 3. No, go 1, 2, 3.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
A lot of people going 1, 3.
Yep.
They're odd people. You know, they like the odds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was one of those things where I was just like, and the other funny part is that it's just being in the media meeting kind of took me back to the drivers meetings, because oftentimes like in drivers meetings, questions will be thrown that just make you just think back to that Jackie Chan meme. It's like, what are you doing? Or
makes you question humanity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Or
I would love to have been there with you to be able to witness all this. I don't even know what buffoonery, nonsensical whimsery, madness,
ignorant.
Yes, all those things all together.
Right. But it's just funny how just some of the similarities, how they just kind of transpire onto like different sort of not necessarily disciplines, but different aspects of it, of the whole drifting thing.
Well, so kind of giving a good summary, but I've never been there. I don't know if I'll have a chance to go there anytime, honestly. Maybe one day. We'll see, Lord willing. Walk me through the day. What is, when you pull up, what are we seeing? Is it just a drift event? Is it a car show? Is there, I mean, I see them put things, they're doing a model search. I mean, what exactly is going on at Hotpit Autofest when you arrive as either a media guy or spectator? What do they expect to look forward to when they're going to an event?
If you're a media person, completely different from a spectator.
Okay, so but you kind of got to experience both, I assume.
Yes.
Okay, so do the spectator for the
Spectator.
yeah.
Okay, spectator is you got to deal with the line.
Oh,
Just to get in.
So he gets a lot of people coming in. Then.
It's pretty popular. It's kind of if you're from South Florida and you've been in drifting for a good amount of time, X amount of years, it's very similar to PBIR, where you would go into one of those drift nights that had drag racing going on, and you would have to be on the highway that's leads to the entrance of the track, and you'd be there maybe like an hour or two.
Okay.
Just waiting to just get in.
Wow.
To the parking, yeah. So.
Is that because there's so many people, or is that just because they're really slow at the gate, you think?
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Okay.
Because it could be a mixture of both.
All right.
But it's hard to say because I wasn't around for that. But you go in, it's kind of similar setup where it's like you go in, you park like off site in a way. It's just basically like on the other end.
Right.
So you when you pull in, you would have to make a right to go into the main area. But on the left is like the general parking area. So you kind of go there and then you walk over. And the first thing you'll probably get exposure to is the drift pits.
Okay.
Because you just walk straight down. And we kind of went over it on the Instagram Live where you walk straight down. You see the drift pits on the right. And it's a mixture of some of the vendors. And then once you kind of get towards like this other area on the left, then you have more vendors.
Now, is the pit area open to the public, or is it an additional fee?
Oh no, it's basically free reign. So
Okay.
anybody
Okay.
can just
Yeah.
kind
Float
of
around
like float
everywhere.
around and kind of get a chance to kind of see everything.
Okay.
And then as you're kind of like walking down, and it's actually kind of, I would say, like laid out very easy for people to navigate through, because I think we've been to events where because there's no like predefined or predetermined path like the yellow brick road, like you mentioned, it's so scattered that you don't really know where to go, and you kind of like the flow of it isn't really so I guess you could say
Intuitive?
like obvious, and intuitive, yeah, that you don't know where to go, and you don't know where to, if you want to see a particular thing, it's not so obvious. This, because it's sort of kind of, you're restricted in a way of your movement. You go straight down, and then you kind of get a sense of everything that it has all to offer.
Okay.
So that was a good part of it. And then you have the pits, then you have the vendors. You have more access pit area that's on the farther end. And then, of course, you have the main grandstands that obviously you could go to, and then you can kind of.
Did they have a car show there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that mixed in all of that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's okay. Interesting. Was there a lot of cars for the car show, you think?
Oh yeah.
Would like Fuel Fest a lot, or like more like?
Ooh. It's hard to say because I know Fuel Fest they have an event there, and I don't know what is the scale, so I can't. Really
comparative.
compare.
But from what we've seen at the South Florida Fairgrounds, how would you compare Hotpit Autofest to an event like that?
I
50%
would say,
the size. Close.
Yeah, I would probably argue. I mean, could be wrong, but I would probably argue that maybe like 50% of the size, and it's only because the South Florida Fairgrounds covers like a more of a wide open area.
Okay,
that you could really fit more things in it.
Maybe it's like LS Fest Vegas kind of vibe, or no, a little more organized. I'm just because I haven't been there, and so you see it on camera. It's hard to understand what it's exact. So I can only try to ask you to compare what we've been to, right? I'm sure it's not like Kentucky. Kentucky's pretty massive.
Yeah.
But maybe Texas, maybe on a scale of Texas, or probably not.
You know something? Yeah, I would probably go with Texas.
Okay.
I would probably go with LS Fest, Texas.
Okay.
I would,
Okay.
go with that. But what's good is that, I mean, bathrooms are clean.
Okay.
That's always a huge plus, because oftentimes people will go to the bathroom and they're like traumatized.
Yeah.
They'll get PTSD afterwards.
How are the food vendors? Did you get to check those out?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. For me, it was one, like, my main thing was just water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just
It was
trying to
hot?
stay hydrated.
It was hot?
So that's the other part that kind of like took me by surprise, because they in the media email that they give you out, they're like, hey, just so you're aware, it's expected to be very hot, so stay hydrated, all those things. And I was just like, oh, okay, all right, so I'll go ahead and just get outfitted for it. And I get there and I was just like, where's the heat? what are they talking about?
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, well, I was watching something on the news and saying there's this heat wave going through Europe, right? And there's just like, oh, it's blah, blah, it's heat wave. Well, it was like 80 degrees. That was the heat wave. We're like, that's not heat wave.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so it wasn't hot. So that worked out good. You know, you prepared for heat, but you actually ended up being happy that it wasn't so hot.
Yeah, and it was just it just kind of like, it really took me by surprise, because I was expected to be like a hot, wet mess.
Well, remember, it's not as humid as it is here as well.
Definitely not. And that was the biggest takeaway, is that I mean, it's just, what a difference.
Yeah, well, when we went to Vegas and I was wearing a hat, typically by the time I'm like halfway done, I have like a sweat thing going on right here.
Yeah, sweatbands.
But I was in Vegas, I was like, my hat stayed dry the whole day. And it was hot in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would probably argue that, I mean, the Vegas was a little bit more miserable to deal with. But at Irwindale, I was just like, well, I could be here all day.
yeah.
I mean, this is great.
Okay.
Nothing like the freaking Florida weather, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. So you're walking around, getting set up, going through the media meeting, and how many other media representatives were there with you? Would you say?
I would say probably about 50.
Oh, so there's a lot.
Yeah,
And
it was a huge amount.
And did you get to meet anybody that you never met before? Excuse me.
Yeah, there was, I think, about 2-3 people.
Okay, because I saw you did an interview with a lady that was she doing media.
So that actually, I'm glad you bring that up, because I'm gonna go. It goes back to the point that I was trying to make earlier, is that it helped to this event helped to introduce me to their staff. Now, I was mentioning how oftentimes the staff doesn't get enough credit for all the work that they do, and they were so nice, professional, courteous, and really didn't have any sort of friction or any problems with them. And just the way how they were kind of willing, like, to say, like, hey, look, if you have any issues or anything we could help with, just let us know. And the thing that one of the things that stood out to me is that you could tell their heart and their mindset, it was in the right place, because they really want to be able to deliver a good show, put together like a safe environment for the media people and everybody involved to do that. But it's often not easy, because obviously you got to have some issues where it's like somebody doesn't sort of like pay attention, or something happens that they didn't prepare for. Right. So it's just a matter of like, obviously, and those are the moments where it really tests you to see if, like, okay, like, what is your experience and what are your abilities, and how are you going to be able to handle this situation, and how are you going to put out these fires. And I definitely commend them for, Jeff and RJ.
Okay.
For
those are two.
Those are the two main guys.
And RJ from Big Duck Club, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So co-founders of Hotpit, for kind of putting together a pretty solid team. And
how many years have they been doing? Like, what, 3 years, 4 years now?
Good question. I think about 3 years.
Yeah, about 3-4 years, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's definitely growing at leaps and bounds. Now, I think it's a different community over there.
Right.
that tend to show up to these events, because we've been doing events over here for a long time, and we don't get that kind of. He seems like he gets a good crowd every event. Mm-hmm. Probably pretty close to a Formula Drift event. You think?
I don't know.
No, you don't think so?
I don't know. And I only say that because
LS Fest is pretty close to some of the Formula Drift events. I'm not saying every, like, obviously, I guess it depends on which one, but say OSW.
yeah, okay. The only reason why I'm sort of kind of skeptical about it is because there were some gaps on the grandstands.
Oh, okay.
Right. But when you look at Formula Drift at Irwindale, you see the grandstands like packed like to the brim.
Well, so and part of my research of what I was doing that we'll bring up next time is that, from what I understand, is Irwindale holds about 6,000 in the stands.
Okay.
That's what I was reading. Comfortably about 6,000. Mm-hmm. So I'd assume if he's not packing the stands, he may still be good, maybe close to a couple thousand people there. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, that's pretty. That's a pretty good turnout.
No. I mean, I'm not trying to take away anything.
No, I know. I'm just saying that's a pretty good turnout.
But it's sort of, but at the same time, I know what you're trying to say. It's like trying to help illustrate the size and the scope and the amount of attention that the event brought out.
Right. Not to say that it's easier to run an event over there, but it seems to garner more attention, or at least support from the local area versus you do an event here like Jackson. He's been doing it. World famous Chris Jackson's been doing it for a long time, and he doesn't have the turnouts like that. Not even. I mean, I'd argue not even with the media. Right.
I mean, because there was about like I mentioned, there was about like 50. Right. And it was just crazy how, as I was there at the meeting, just waiting because. I was a little bit ahead of time, and I was just like, oh, okay, that's it. It was just like 15, 20 people. I was like, all right, cool. I mean, that's pretty standard. Right. All of a sudden, when it was getting close to 11:30, you see this sort of like this horde that's kind of like flowing through in our direction. I was just like, whoa, what the heck's going on here? Right.
So and what I'm saying is like, it's a demographic thing, I believe, because I don't think Jackson's doing anything different than what Jeff Jones is doing as far as trying to market and run an event, right? And actually, Chris Jackson's actually running a Pro-Am. And it's still not able to gain the support of what Jeff Jones, and I mean, hats off to Jeff Jones. I'm not taking away from him. I'm talking more about a side-by-side comparison of demographics or of location, right? So it's interesting. How can we achieve that over here on the East Coast? It's hard. I mean, there's got to be some kind of secret sauce out there somewhere.
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
It's sort of one of those things where we've struggled with for a very long time, especially when it becomes very evident to us when you'll have somebody come to an event and they'll come up to us, or we'll hear it as we're like passing by, and they'll say like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were doing this. I didn't even know." And it's like, we've been doing this for like years. Yeah. But for whatever reason, like the message doesn't get out, or the word just doesn't go out for it. Yeah. I don't understand it.
And only you can change that. Only the viewers can change that. Spread the word. So you did the drivers meeting. You gave us a little walkthrough of what to expect for spectators. What about drivers? How many drivers did you get to meet again, or like say hello to, or catch up with, and how many new drivers were you able to kind of meet as well?
First one and foremost, shout out to Josh Stewart.
Yeah, I see you're wearing the Stewart family drift.
Indeed. Right there. Yes, indeed. Shout out to him and his crew. They're always nice, very welcoming, and it was funny how they were shocked that I made an appearance.
Yeah, I figured they'd be surprised that you just kind of stroll in.
Yeah. They're like, "Oh, you made it. Really made it." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit surprised too, but I told myself I was going to come out and been a big fan of the series since it started, so I've always wanted to kind of like check it out for myself, and it just so happens that I had the time and the opportunity to do it. But yeah, I got to catch up with him. Fortunately, he has some car issues,
Really?
like engine issues. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I think it's something with the. You mentioned something with the rocker arm.
Oh, okay.
The way how he has it set up, it was just giving him problems,
Huh.
and it got to the point where basically now he's got to change the entire setup. But the car was running like when it was running fine, like the few times that I got to catch it, like it was on point, like it was just like flying. But I knew something was wrong when he was doing a run, and as he was going around towards the final turn, it just all of a sudden you hear the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Losing some pistons there.
Yeah,
Or not. Yeah, they're not firing anyways.
yeah. Or they're going to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. Or just Jake brake. You know, it's like a big truck. You ever seen a big truck spin on the highway? And they go slow down. They go.
Oh yeah, okay.
Maybe
yeah.
it's just slowing down.
Yeah, that's probably was. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, it could be that.
Interesting.
Who else did I get to catch up with? I don't know.
Was what should we call it?
I don't remember.
Who else to? Not so bright. Was he there? Or
Yeah,
is
he was there.
Okay.
He was there.
What about Blaze Potts and all them? Were they there?
Man, I don't know.
What about Margaritas? Was he there?
Yeah, Margaritas was there.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was.
And then what's his face? Australian man.
Oh, Luke Fink.
Luke Fink was there.
Yeah, he was there. I didn't get to, but I will say that I never knew an LS could sound like that. And I'm telling you, like his LS was just like distinct and unique in the way that it sounded throughout the track, and I'm a big fan.
So what did he do different?
He had it a Magnus and a supercharger.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people have the superchargers. What made it sound different?
I think he it's a straight pipe.
Maybe like a 12-1 or something, or 8-1. 12. Maybe it'd be nice 12-1.
Yeah,
nice.
that'd be nice.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have to look into it. I have to see his car.
You should. It sounded.
I still won't go V8. Actually, I may go V8 if I had the money, but I'll tell you what.
But you've already been V8 with the Silverado.
Well, drift V8.
Oh, okay, all right.
If I had the money, there's a V8 that actually I'm going to talk about later that I would actually use. But as you were,
yeah. And it just so happens that he won the event too.
Yeah.
So that was good. But some of the other like crazy. I mean, I got to actually talking about catching up. I got to catch up and meet Logan Hunter. And the way how that came about at first was that as I was in the track, I was kind of like we're getting ready to make my way towards like the boxes. I sort of like took a step back and just sort of was taking photos from a certain angle, and I forgot. I think it was the guy that he was up against. I forgot who, but Logan Hunter was the one that was driving the what's it? I mean, the silver S14.
Okay.
That ended up flipping over.
Ah, yes. Yeah, I saw you got an interview with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he looked like he got lost in smoke. Somebody spun and he just caught the corner of the other guy's car and just flipped him on a dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of, to me, it was weird at the time in the sense that I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It happened so quick that I was just like, did I even get the photos? Like, what? I didn't even know what I got.
Right.
It was funny. One of the staff members was like, "You got that right?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so. I don't know." But I remember taking the photos and just seeing the car upside down. And I was just like, I can't believe this just happened.
Right.
It's just weird. And like, how did it happen?
Not only that, is it happened in a way that could happen anywhere.
It's
not like he hit the wall at a weird angle. He just caught the other car at the right angle, and it just boop, right over.
Yeah. And I remember I was tracking the other car, the green car, and unfortunately, like, it just escapes my memory right now, like who was driving that car. But I was tracking that car, and I remember it spinning out, but I was just like saying to myself, is the way that he spun out just wasn't good.
Right.
Because usually when, especially experienced drivers, they'll know where to go to spin out. You know what I mean? Like they'll either
spin towards the inside or go way off track and spin off.
Yeah, so that way they're not like in the racing line or in harm's way.
Yeah, and I guess
so
he wasn't
forth.
that close either. It looked like he was probably a couple cars back.
Yeah,
So that makes it worse because you have time to build up momentum as you hit the other driver. If he was really close, had the other guy spun, it wouldn't have been as bad.
right. And I remember it was odd the way that he spun, and then just the way how he hit the other. I mean, the way how Logan hit that car, which is really unexpected, and that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Because the way how he just hit and then launched in the air and then flipped over,
Yeah.
I was just like, oh boy,
It
this is
dented in
bad.
his roof pretty good. Did he drive after that or no? Was he able to get it going?
It was able to drive afterwards.
Okay.
He actually, so when he went back to the pits, he assessed the situation, did a damage report, actually got it running, moving. Apparently, it wasn't anything serious, mechanical, drivetrain wise, so that he was able to actually get it going again. But he couldn't get on track because the cage was compromised.
Okay. Well, I should have asked, how was he? That probably is the most important thing.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
He was fine. Luckily, he's young.
Yeah.
So
He heals quick.
yeah.
Them
And-
youngins, they bounce off the ground pretty well.
Yeah, right? Sheesh. Yeah, he even though like it was a very crazy heavy hit, he was fine. The other person driver was fine too. But they both suffered a significant damage. Unfortunately, I wish I could have, now looking back, gone over to the other car to see what kind of damage they dealt with. Because it was pretty serious on both ends.
So how late did the event end up running till? Did you stay till the end?
Yeah, I stayed till the end. It stayed pretty late. Now, part of the problem, and usually we'll sort of, how can I say this? I mean, you've been a big proponent of trying to get the action going and say no to delays and like, what's the deal with these commercials, all that,
Right.
Whatever. But and in this case, for this event, a lot of it was just not on Hotpit's end.
Okay.
Because so you had the car flip over,
Right.
you had that incident take place. Blaze Potts blew. Actually, he lost an engine, but not in the way that you expected, because as he went past first turn, was going towards the infield.
Okay.
He ended up hitting. He hit something, and the way how he hit it basically knocked out the oil cooler out of the car, and then that just kind of made that caused like a chain reaction of all these other things to fail, and as a result of it, it spread oil around the track.
Oh, so they had to clean that up.
Yeah, and it was a good portion of the track too. They got
They should just tell the guys, don't run with oil. That way, in case if they get it oil, there will be no more oil spills.
Well, don't say that though.
Why is that?
Because then they're going to be like, oh, so you're saying we should go with an EV because an EV doesn't have oil.
Oh, God.
Aha!
Oh, man.
Careful.
No, I'm
there.
not saying that.
Okay, good.
I would
You got to
never-
clarify.
Yes,
You
I'm
gotta
definitely clarifying.
But
Extra oil.
there was a bunch of oil around the track, so they had to deal with that. What was the other the other problems? Then you had other cars having like mechanical issues, and then they were calling 5-minute timeouts.
Yeah.
And it eventually got to the point where Luke Fink pretty much got the win like uncontested pretty much, because the opponent that he went up against, his alternator went bad, and he tried to go out and battle with just
Battery power.
with just battery power, kind of like our own Gabby Garbanzo.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. And what's also funny is Luke Fink's car almost caught. Well, it did catch on fire.
Yes, in the tire. I saw it. Right?
Yeah. And luckily, though, he was able to run out and get that extinguished.
So were you able to check out the live stream and any of those guys, or you didn't have enough time to get up there?
I didn't get time to get up there, nor did I really process that to do that.
Right.
Only because I don't know. I think for me it was just a matter of just kind of going there, taking the sights and the sounds, and just shoot.
And you got to talk to
media.
Jeff?
Yeah, I got to talk to Jeff.
Okay.
I had some time with him, and I got to not only thank him for the opportunity, but also sort of give him a shout out for what he and RJ have been able to accomplish. Because just like I mentioned, the things that they just to be able to kind of like put this circus together, it's pretty wild. To say the least.
Well, that's good. So your overall journey to Hotpit Autofest and experiencing it firsthand was worth all the sleepless nights? Was it?
Yeah, it would. Would I do it the same way that how I did it? No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I'll probably go into a little bit more detail about it in a moment, but yeah, it's definitely it was definitely fun. A lot of crazy action, and just, I mean, I'm telling you, like, just a car flipping over. It's like.
So what were your key takeaways for the weekend or for the day?
Key takeaways. Not funny for the day. Well, one of the things is, like you mentioned, is just the level of support that they get over there from the community and all that. Is just sort of, it's sort of, you kind of do envy it a bit because just, I mean, in a way, kind of we've kind of gotten a chance to experience it over here with Fuel Fest.
Okay.
With their events and the crowd that they're able to attract and all that. So, but for a regular drift event to be able to attract that kind of crowd, I mean, the only other time we've kind of had that experience was for the casino event.
Okay.
Casino event and all that. But there's that. The car builds are great. They're good. Like I mentioned already, the staff was great. Great people to work with.
Okay. Well, I got another question for you.
It's not as hot too.
Okay. Well, that's good. So the weather was the other great thing. So I got another, and I know you don't like to be critical because you tend to be, very on the up and up and try to avoid any confrontation. But I'm going to give you a question. Hopefully you choose to answer it.
Right.
If you had to pick one thing during the event that you think that they could improve on, what would you think it is?
One thing about the event that they can improve on. Crap.
Tough one, huh?
Yeah, that is tough.
Because I mean,
and it's only because, like I mentioned already, like the staff. So, and the reason why I can relate with this, and it's because we've experienced it ourselves.
Right, absolutely. It's not to pick on an event. I'm just saying, like, you always want to, when you go to an event, when you do an event, or you run an event, I think one of the most important things as an event organizer is to say, okay, it went good or it went bad or whatever it is, but what could we do better next time?
Right. I mean, it's tough. Well. Okay, I got one thing, but the other thing that to kind of finish off the point that I was trying to make is that we've experienced this before. We kind of dealt with the same situation. Is that when you have the core group of people that have that are driven and determined and they share the same mindset.
Okay,
it's great to have, but it's difficult to have that trickle down to everybody that's in the staff.
There's a disconnect. You have your core, right?
Right.
But there's that same level of expertise doesn't trickle down to the other levels, I guess what you're saying.
Yeah. And it's difficult, but and it's difficult to criticize it because you don't know exactly like the whole story. You don't know if
they volunteers.
Yeah, right. If they're volunteering or if they're just their first event. There's that. So I guess one thing is flags.
Okay.
Flags, and it's
to help
only
communicate.
Right, and it's only because there was just one instance where there was a car that stopped midway through the course, and then the way how the layout was sort of set up, the the chase car stopped, but the lead car kept going. Mm-hmm. And the lead car, obviously, they're not fully aware of like what's going on. Mm-hmm. So with the way how they were kind of looping around one of the media boxes, we were trying to get their attention, like, hey, stop,
Right.
slow down, and so forth, just to be on the safe side, because we don't know.
Right.
Oftentimes you try to tell people, it's like, slow down, and then they just keep going, or they just treat the other car as a clipping point and then just slide around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there was that. But I think the other main thing that perhaps they could improve upon, but again, I don't know exactly like what the whole situation is that there was a moment in time where nobody had a good handle of what was going on because the track speakers weren't working.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a live stream, but the live stream wasn't being fed to the track.
Yeah, you could say that.
But normally it is, I think, right?
Normally it is, and it did at some point.
Okay.
At some point they sorted it out, but
Right.
there was a good portion of the time where I couldn't hear what was happening.
Right.
Because, well, I mean, the speakers are loud enough for you to be able to hear it all the way from the middle of the track where I was at.
Okay.
And I didn't hear any of that until a certain portion of the event, and I was just saying to myself, it's like, what's happening?
Well, yeah, but you see that a lot. I mean, you're on the infield, right? It's kind of hard. I think even at LS Fest, you don't really hear what's going on a lot of times. Maybe not.
Yeah, you're right. You don't.
Yeah, you don't really hear what's going on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of hard. Obviously, the venue is not focused on making sure the people on the inside of the track are hearing anything.
Yeah.
All the speakers are facing away from you.
Yeah.
That would prove to be make things a little challenging in order to keep up on what's going on.
Right. The other thing, going back to the whole staff part, is maybe just try to remind them is that whenever there's a car on track, just to keep your eyes on it throughout the whole time, or
Right.
try to, because you never know what could go flying at you.
Right.
And I think there was an instance where one or several people may have gotten like some debris or shrapnel thrown at them.
Ooh. Okay.
So yeah, it's always something to kind of like worry about, just in general. I
Right,
think
right,
anybody, I mean, whether if it's media or anybody that's out in the middle of the track, just
Right.
has to worry about that.
Okay. Sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time. I would say that, and it was and I was actually glad I did it for sure. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Well, no, I definitely won't be able to do it for any of the other rounds. Only because it just conflicts with everything else that we're doing.
It's not. No, it's close. You're on the other side of the country, literally.
Yeah, but you can take advantage of like flight deals, and
Yeah,
it becomes
you could.
it becomes a little bit like if you'll have to rough it out a bit, but I mean it's kind of worth it in a way.
Yeah, because you basically flew out, landed the morning of,
Right.
and then got a car, went to the event, and then went back to the airport at night. Correct?
Right.
So you didn't really even stay a full night.
No, I didn't.
So it's probably not the best idea.
Well, that's why I mentioned that if I were to do it again, I would do it differently.
Fly
this
in
time
the day
around.
before, at least.
Yes.
And then stay the day and fly back the day after, or to Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Which, yeah. Yeah, I had a bit of a layover, kind of like off topic and sort of going through the whole process of getting back over here. Yeah, I ended up having a layover over in Albuquerque, and I had enough time to go out and check things out a bit. And I gotta tell you, it's strange. It's a pretty strange place.
Very unique.
Very
Very
unique and strange. And I got to tell you that as a fan of the show Breaking Bad, I could see where there's a lot of influence that the city and the area brings to the show.
Okay.
And I mean, one notable part is just the show is one of the things that the show is known for. Maybe,
Meth.
maybe not.
Meth.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Pretty
I'm not
much.
gonna.
It is like literally about meth.
Yes, but that's
so
not
what you're
the
saying
point.
is that there's a lot of meth.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it.
Yes, I didn't
Okay.
see it. But
I did not inhale.
The point I'm trying to
Oh,
make
okay.
is that one of the things that one of the notable things about the show is that the transitions that they will do with the time lapses, and how you don't hear anything. You just hear the only thing you hear is just cars driving by.
Yeah,
like just the tires just like rolling through
like
the
a
road.
tire white noise kind of.
Exactly. And it's not like where we're around here in our neighborhood where you kind of get like a whole mixture of things where you either hear different engine noises or
Gunshots.
Sure,
Tire squealing.
birds.
Yeah, birds.
Gators.
Gators, yeah.
Yeah, all these different things. But no, this is sort of like a very just
Parrots. We get a lot of parrots around here.
birds just flying around. But this is sort of just kind of like a one-track soundtrack that's just playing throughout the whole.
Well, you gotta also think there's nothing to absorb the sound. Like we have trees everywhere here.
I didn't think about that. You're
just
right.
Sound has free range to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least you got to experience it.
Yeah, it definitely has me curious about whether if I should reconsider going back there again.
Yeah.
But
So that was
Go ahead, sir.
No, I was gonna say, so anything else on Hotpit Autofest you want to talk about or mention?
Liberty Walk was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty popular area. They have their Lambos and a mixture of very high-end vehicles. They had Hibino there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing. It's not the true Hibino.
Why? Oh, okay.
Because it's not of the Lannison's persuasion that we're accustomed to.
Okay.
So it was a bit weird just having that Hibino there, and I was just like, I don't know, this feels like the fake Hibino.
Yeah.
But he did pretty good in the S15 that he was in.
Okay.
In the way that he kind of like he's drifted around our little media area, and I was just like, oh, all right,
nice.
well, I didn't know he was gonna do that, but that's cool. But definitely got the crowd kind of definitely excited on that.
Oh, nice.
That was good.
Yeah. So what is it?
Liberty Walk.
It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I would love to make it over there and check it out.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Have to plan a trip over there. But Formula Drift is going on right now, I think, right? They're doing the seating bracket.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It looks, I'm trying to hear, it looks like because it's round 6. They're in Seattle, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it looks like it might be over. I don't know, main competition. Yeah. I think it is. Mike Power won the seating bracket.
Oh, wow.
Maybe
Okay.
That's what I'm getting here. Yeah, Von Gittin Jr., blah, blah. And, interesting. Derek Madison took out Von Gittin Jr. Seems like it was and Ben Hobson, Force Wayne took out Ben Hobson, so those guys didn't make it too far.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know, right? And let's hear.
Ben is having a pretty rough year.
He is. And it came down to Robbins and Madison. Robbins won. On the other side, Dimitri Bruschi got taken out. Power moved on. Andy Haley got taken out early. Kearney got taken out early, and Jao Barrion got taken out, and they made their way through. It came down to Power and Thorne, and Power ended up taking the win of the seeding bracket. So, interesting.
Hey, just as long as James Deane keeps winning the series.
I don't think he can lose at this point. He's got like 100-something points lead.
I'm not sure, but hey, whatever. As long as he's in the lead and he takes the championship, it's good for me.
Yeah, no, you now Odie Botchkis I think is second.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure he was my pick at the beginning of the year. So we might be able to do a 1-2 punch out at the end of the year. So you got number 1. I was pretty close. I got number 2.
Oh, I just remembered talking about Ben Hobson. I saw him there at Hotpit.
Oh,
yeah, I got to catch up with him.
Is he staying over? Is he living over there now?
No, he's not. But it was just so random because he was pointed out to me, and I was just like, "Oh,
did
that
you
is
talk
Ben
to him, or
Hobson."
you just saw
Yeah,
him?
I went up to him. And I was like, "Hey, Ben, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He mentioned he's going to be at a Ford Fest this year.
Good. That'll be good
I'm
to see
happy
him.
to see him again.
That'll be good. It'll be good battles then.
Yeah. Saw Ben Hobson. Who else? Random person that I saw. Amanda Sorensen.
Oh, really?
I saw her there.
Yeah, but we never talked to them.
No.
I don't think we're not up in the elites, so we're kind of like the peasants. She's up in the drift elites.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You might want to silence that.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Well, interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the standings now for the drift standings.
Okay.
Let's see your standings. You'll probably get to it faster than I will because you're just better at that than I am. Pro
Gosh
standings,
darn it.
Standings. Long Beach 2020 view current pro standings. There we go. Okay, so yes, James Deane's first place. Odie is second. Asbo is third. Doesn't have. Wait, here we go. James Deane 454 points, and Odie at 336. It's a 118 point deficit. Now, Osbo he's at 310, so really the battle is for second right now. I don't see, you got 3 rounds left. Unless something catastrophic happens, it would be really interesting to see Odie or Osbo be able to close that gap. That's a pretty significant gap.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see. But yeah, man. I didn't think James Deane was going to have it in him after last season. I was like, he doesn't seem like he has it. But he's also leading over in across the pond as well, isn't he?
James Deane, no, he's not.
Oh, he's not leading over there?
No, he's not leading.
Oh, okay. I thought he was.
Drift Masters, no.
Oh, okay. But he's close, I'm sure, right? I don't know.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not even close?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. Well, maybe that's what I was thinking he was going to do good.
Yeah, I could pull that up if you want.
Yeah, let's see how he's doing in Drift Masters, because right now, like I said, he's at 454 points, and he's had 100 point rounds. He got 100 points at Long Beach, Englishtown, and St. Louis, and Atlanta was his least. So what was it Orlando? Was it Orlando that? No, that wasn't. I'm thinking something else.
Oh, I take it back.
What?
Yeah, actually, James Deane is leading.
That's what I thought. I thought I heard
the
that.
standings in Drift Masters by
So-
only 2 points.
But he will, if he can win Drift Masters and Formula Drift, he can pretty much say he is the world champ of that year. He's conquered the world at the same time.
But you're forgetting Japan, though, right?
Do they have their own? Well, is he over there? Is he competing over there though?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I think Europe and America is pretty much. I would say that's most of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean,
it'd be kind of hard to compete at every championship circuit across the world.
right
But how many people have won 2 championships at
in
the same year for 2 different countries like that? Major championships. We're not talking like grassroots. We're talking Drift Masters. Pretty major over there. I'd probably say the biggest.
Actually, just to one up what you mentioned, 2 continents.
2 continents. Okay.
Yeah, because they go to different countries in Drift Masters.
That's a good point. Very good point. Yeah. Continents, right.
Damn.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's an interesting
I don't know.
stat.
Has anybody ever done that before? I mean, I don't
I'd
think
have to look at Daigo if he did it.
but I don't think he competed in the Europe area. I think it was in Japan.
Maybe a thing where it could be possible the year that he won in Formula Drift, he may have won something in Japan.
We'll have to search that up.
Yeah.
But James Deane potentially could be the only one to ever compete in 2 major series across 2 continents. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
To take home the championship in that year, in 1 year. So, wow. What do you do after that? I mean, it's almost like that's when you retire, right? You retire on top.
I think for them, they're not going to retire, man. Come on.
No, why would you?
They're just going to keep at it.
Yeah.
Let me just pull this up so that way everybody else can take a good look as to what we are referring to. Wait, hang on. There's there's that, and well, bam. Okay. Yeah, everybody has a good look here. Let me enhance so that way.
I can see it because I'm blind.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it. I
Okay.
saw it before, but
Oh, okay.
this is definitely much easier.
Okay.
So 288 to 286. Wow.
And he either missed a round or he didn't complete.
Oh, so then, actually, you take that into consideration, he's still leading and he wasn't even there a round. How many rounds is Drift Masters?
I forgot. I think 5.
Okay. Wow.
I'm not sure. But yeah, I think 5.
Nice.
Or maybe more. I don't know. You know what? Why don't I just go to the main page over here?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Here.
What are you thinking?
4 down, 2 to go. Okay, so then 6 rounds.
6 rounds. Okay.
All right. That wasn't that far off.
No, pretty close. Well, we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, it would be. So what else in drift news? What else is going on?
Hang on. Let me just back out of this. That way everybody can go.
Oh, so those of you that may be wondering where my brother is, he's sick. He's not feeling good. He's acting like a little baby. And then we were going to have the Holy One fill in the gap, but the Holy One decided he didn't want to hang out with us because Formula Drift Yo.
Well, no, he had to go.
Notarize something?
I don't know what he has to notarize. I don't know if it's notarizing or he had to
Go to court, prepare for his deposition for defending because he's a drift attorney.
Possibly.
Or was he blessing somebody today? Did he
I
have
think that's more likely.
Did he have a baptism that he had to attend?
I gotta tell you, he was in my neighborhood. Not to.
What was he doing in your neighborhood?
He was doing a closing.
Closing what?
I don't know, notarizing or something. I don't know. What.
Okay.
Yeah, he was nearby. But what are the chances that? And I was thinking about it, like not so long, like shortly afterwards. I was like, there's the route that I take. There's at least about 5 to 6 different options.
Yes.
For me to go through.
Right.
And it just so happens that I take the option that, and the time.
You took the holy road.
Right. I took the option and
You
the
must
time
have sensed something.
to cross paths
It was
with the Holy
divine
One.
intervention.
Yeah. I think that's what it was. And
Did
it was
you
just
guys
strange.
talk? Or
Of
did
course.
you just lock eyes and as he drove
We
by?
locked eyes.
Uh-huh.
We from the distance, from across, because
From
obviously
across. I like how you say that. From
Yeah.
across. The holy one.
Damn.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Good catch. And obviously he has a race car.
He's driving the race car.
Yeah.
He's driving
The Corolla.
What do you mean the Corolla? What year Corolla?
The Corolla IM.
That's not a race car.
Yes, it is a race car. It was used for race car purposes. So we just call it as a race car.
Okay, whatever.
Freddie used it. Osbo.
Yeah, but it's a little different. His version was a little different than...
Yes, his version is different, but regardless, we still label it as a race car because there's a form or derivative that was utilized for race car purposes. So we like to say that he is roaming the streets,
Racing around the streets.
racing, whatever you want to consider it, with a race car. So
Wow. Okay.
I saw the race car, and obviously it's very distinctive, very notable, and I saw this aura, this holy aura,
Like a halo kind of...
yeah,
Yeah.
emanating from the race car, and I was just like, it could be the only one, the holy one, and
How did that encounter go? No?
I mean, how would you think? Like, I felt like I pulled up for a confession.
Yes. Confess.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You got to see him. But anyways, Paul.
He pulled up and he was all like, "What's up, bro?" And I was like, "Hey, guy."
And off you guys went.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
it.
much.
Pretty deep conversation.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing here? He's like, "Oh, I just figured, Yeah, I was like, "Oh boy."
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to talk this or if you had something else, but I did send you 2 engines that I thought were pretty interesting. And I don't know if we talked about this before, but you already have it up. I don't know if you have it up on the live.
Now it is.
It is. Okay, so this is Astron's Omega 1 engine. Is it real? Is it fake? So basically,
gosh.
well, it is a real prototype and it is something that they're talking about. But let's go down and talk about, look at some of the numbers that they're projecting. Now, this is a hydrogen-powered engine, but it's a twin rotary.
Eh?
Yes. So I thought you would like that. It is a twin rotary, become one of the major focuses engineering scene, with certain governments hoping that they can actually make this into a combustion engine that they could sell in vehicles, which is pretty cool. I'm not reading word for word, but basically, Astron Aerospace They've been kind of banging out different ideas. And let me see, I'm trying to get into Omega 1. While it may not look like the kind of engine you're used to, the conceptual beast might just revolutionize the automotive field one day. It's based off a rotary engine, and it dates back obviously to the 1950s, back for Mr. Wankel, German engineer Felix Wankel.
Wunderbar.
The Wunderwas. And as an alternate to the piston-powered combustion engines that we know today, they want to utilize the rotary, and that way they can flood some nitro in there. Go down, you can scroll down, and it'll actually show you a breakdown of the engine. A little bit more. That's a video. I don't know if you want to watch it or not, but there's a kind of a little breakdown of what the engine looks like. So I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I'm trying to get the specs here. So,
am I wrong to say that it almost reminds me of a transmission?
Kind of, but what they're saying is that it can generate around 160 horsepower, weighing only 35 pounds.
Or a differential.
Right. Did you hear what I said?
135 pounds?
No. 35 pounds, 160 horse.
Really?
That is a lot of power in a little package. So I thought it was pretty cool. Pretty cool. There's a lot more information you guys can research about it, but yeah, I mean, rotary power could be the way of the future. With a little bit of hydrogen. So we'll see. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a matter of convincing Mazda to put it together, only because they're the only ones that are willing to stubbornly continue on developing the rotary engine.
So it's not a typical rotary. I mean, it is a rotary engine, but you think it uses the same Wankel style rotary principles. So I don't think they're tied to the Wankel patent as far as Mazda's concerned.
Okay.
So I don't think they'll need Mazda's approval on this, because it is a completely different design of rotary. But nonetheless, it is rotary. But rotaries are very, very, I wouldn't say
You've had
very
experience with rotaries.
Well, yes, I've had experience because I had an RX-8, but I'm saying the rotary platform is used all over the place. Just about every mini split system that you have for your air conditioning utilizes a rotary powered compressor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, they use rotary compressors. So, yeah.
Huh.
That is something it's something that people don't realize, but that rotary, the engineering style or whatever of compression is something that's very widely used.
Huh. The more you know.
Yeah, the more you know. Yeah.
I mean, AC field has always, especially hanging around you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, with all of the shenanigans that you guys throw back and forth, you and your brother, it's really kind of fascinating, a lot of the topics that you brought up.
Yeah.
I mean, you still need to figure out exactly whether your cooler idea is going to work out.
Yeah.
With the liquid water, the nitrogen, and all that.
So yeah, as far as this is concerned, I mean, I haven't done anything to the car in the last 2 months. I haven't needed to do anything other than get alignment and get it tuned. But when I talked to Jackson, I mean, I'm looking to spend around $1,000 to $1,200 to get it tuned.
Sheesh.
Yeah, between dyno time and tuner fees.
Oh my.
So I don't have that money.
Oh, that's
So that's the only reason why it's been sitting. It's because I'm broke.
okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so next engine.
Hang on, I gotta cut you off, my
Oh.
friend, because I think I just remembered something. I remembered something that is more important. It's a matter of
Dire emergency.
dire need to bring up,
Okay.
because we've spoken before. I don't know at length how we've often don't get credit enough to be at the forefront of putting bringing things to light and
We're the
bringing
number one most unwatched podcast that is about motorsports.
it's okay or whatever. I mean, we don't need to bring that up, but the case in point is that oftentimes we don't get we don't get credit for being first to look at things, to bring attention to it, and obviously that's worthwhile. But what I mean by that, and it's something that really took me by surprise.
Okay.
When I do my usual rounds of going through the news and seeing what's out there and so forth, that this popped up.
Yep.
Hang on, let me just make sure that everybody can see it. that this particular vehicle popped up on the Drive website, and this was one of our major top 5. Hang on, sorry, Tim, go.
Tim's top 5 marketplace picks. Boom. Yeah, that was one of them. That was the number one last show we did.
Yes, which was over a month ago.
Yes, it was over a month ago.
Yeah. And
But
look
it
at
was
this thing.
literally we aired that show about a week before they did this. So we definitely beat them to the punch. I didn't make it out to the show because nobody said to go out there, so I figured nobody's going to watch, so whatever. But it looks like they actually did go and look at it because that's a different pick than what was on Facebook.
Well, I think that it is a screenshot from the YouTube.
Ah.
There's a YouTube over here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So they just go into detail and like the same photos that we
Yep,
saw.
same photos, yeah.
So forth, and then kind of refer back to the same video as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I just thought it was pretty wild just to kind of to see this.
And what is this? The Drive? Who does this? Who's the Drive? Okay.
I wish I could answer that question.
Okay. All right.
It's a collective of individuals that put out
do you know
news
them?
articles. No, I don't.
Oh, you've
know
seen them before?
I don't know them at all. They're like
okay.
at a whole different level from us.
Yeah, because people
Yeah.
watch them.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's a heavily trafficked website.
Trafficked. Oh,
Sure, yes,
Okay.
they get a lot of attention. I mean, come on.
yeah, they do.
I mean, look at their articles. I mean, they're talking about all these
yeah, look at that.
things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, they definitely got a lot more going on.
I mean, they're reviewing the SQ8.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well,
But yeah, so they went back, highlighted this vehicle,
maybe they saw it on our show and said we have.
or maybe our show helped spike interest in the algorithm
Probably
to kind
not.
of refer it over to other people, and it just so happens that it popped up
Could have.
on their feed. So, yeah, you're welcome.
Well, we'll see. So hey, that's pretty cool. You know, we've done a lot of things first. So
Yeah, hang on. Damn it! I wish I had the "That's Cool" soundbite. Not anymore. I gotta bring that back in, especially when the holy one makes an appearance.
man.
But I mean, look, Tim, you're
70,000
obviously
bucks.
your Facebook picks are really newsworthy.
they are newsworthy.
For that to pop up there. I mean, and not only that, at least it gives us now we get a better look at this vehicle,
Yeah.
which compared to the last time that we saw it, which if you scroll down, this was the photo that we saw right over here.
Oh, it looks much way better in the other picture.
Yeah, this looks passable.
I mean, what kind of hood pins are those?
That's a good. I mean, I don't know. That's a
Look
good
like-
question.
I don't know. Anyways, whatever. But no, so that's cool. I'm glad you brought that up.
I also look like
Nipples.
nipples or something.
I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean,
Huh.
I don't know. Do you need a wrench of some kind in order to help?
So the thing
I
that
don't
gets
know.
me is like, as bad as it is, like, you did the fenders in a gill style design, but you think you'd want to overlap the other way, right? For better. I mean, that's a death trap. Anyways,
Yeah, who knows? I mean, somebody.
somebody thinks it's worth something.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially that. I mean, do you know if it's still
Available?
if the ad is still up?
It was up last week.
It was up
I
last
saw
week?
I saw it
Okay.
last week, but
All
I
right.
haven't. I wasn't planning on doing Facebook picks this week.
Okay.
I had something else in mind, but I'll have them. I'll have two things next time. I'll have
Okay. All
this
right.
other discussion topic that I'm not doing today, and I'll have some Facebook picks for you next time. So, but anyhow, so the other,
I thought this was very interesting. Sorry.
I thought it was too. No, absolutely.
yeah.
So, I had mentioned before there is a V8 out there that I would own if I had the money.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is the next website that I had sent to you, and it is the K48 Hydra.
What?
Yes.
What is
Almost. This is a two Honda K Series motors basically merged together like Vegeta and Goku
What?
to create the Super Saiyan of Honda motors. Right here, the K48. The K48 is built around arguably the best four-cylinder engine ever made, the Honda
Okay.
K Series. leveraging reliability, large aftermarket community built around Honda parts. This build, they're saying ensuring that your engine is high performance and built to last with reasonable Honda K Series race engine service intervals with a flat plane engine, scream similar to exotic supercars like Ferrari and McLaren. Here are some of the features and benefits. I don't know if you want to go down. The build, maximum effort, Natuli. That's not spelled. Is that spelled right?
There's a lot of errors there.
Okay, well,
Spelling errors.
I want them to build my motor. Okay, so naturally aspirated 4.8/5 liter. I guess you have a choice. Red line of 10,000 RPMs and at 750 to 800 horsepower all motor. That's pretty boastful, right? 68 millimeter throttle bodies, actuators, blah, blah, porting, all kinds of valve stuff going on here. Bore size, 89 or 99 millimeters on the iron sleeves. Custom billet block. But it is pretty cool. It is, yeah, K48. Look at that picture of it, though. Go through the pictures. I mean, it's a pretty good-looking motor.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that is pretty sick. And I don't know if they have a video of how it sounds. It looks like it's on a pre-order right now. I wonder if there's a...
So this is the engine that you would want to get.
Yes, I would definitely...
For which vehicle would you consider putting this into?
Well, if I had the money to purchase this, which I'm sure it's ridiculously expensive.
Let's see.
Oh, you think you can...
Okay, we're going to go red.
I like red. Red's good.
Okay, all right.
Bore size, let's do 89.
Really?
Yeah, let's do 89. What the heck?
Okay, all right.
Engine bell housing. LS bolt pattern. We'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, 1.
And doesn't give you a price? No. Pre-order. Let's see what it says.
No,
it's free.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Maybe go view in cart. Maybe I'll give you the price in cart.
No, it's not going to give me the price there. It's just going to say like, oh, hey,
Interesting.
You want to pre-order? Okay, fine.
Maybe they're trying to gauge interest. But K48, I wonder if that K48, if they made a video, if they actually have made this K48 engine.
Maybe not. I just think that they're just trying to... This is sort of reminiscent of like a Kickstarter, where they're maybe trying to get enough interest to see if it's worthwhile putting together.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like they actually have... Looks like it's all simulation.
So right now, this is perhaps all theoretical.
Could be. Actually, they haven't. Actually, go to... let's see if they have... Actually, can you go to YouTube or no?
Yeah.
Okay, go to YouTube and type in K48 engine rev and sound. Now, this is Now, a lot of times these engine sound generators are pretty accurate. And basically, they put it on an engine sound generator. It's only 28 seconds long. But...
What's it called? K48?
K48 engine rev. And it's going to be by the same company, Neutron Engines. There it is right there on the top. And it's only, it's not too long. Let's click on it. Let's see if we can actually hear what they say it's going to sound like. Exhaust is out the top, and it's a 8-to-1 header.
Interesting.
If it ends up sounding like that, 800 horsepower sounds like that. That's pretty sick. 10,000 rev limit. Another reason why gas-powered vehicles are better than electric. So what do you think?
I'd like to see it actually built and put together, because right now, like I mentioned, it seems all theoretical.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of looking to see if they actually
manufacture it.
yeah, if they could actually manufacture it and make a reliable setup.
So you asked me what vehicle I put it in, and I actually gave that some thought.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So an engine like that, I don't know if I would particularly want to use it for drifting. Although
right.
it would be pretty cool, right?
Right.
It'd be pretty cool. I mean, we're talking, this is like a more of a top speed kind of performance, but you have different options.
Mm-hmm.
I'd want to put it in a mid-engine platform. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, an MR2 or something like that, I think that'd be pretty cool in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be great to put in an E30, right? I mean, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So an MR2 was an option because I just love the way the MR2s look. And my other thought was, of course, an E30.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, but those would be one of those two that I'd probably put it in.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
No.
Yeah, the only problem is just finding a good E30 chassis
Yeah. Well,
that's
again,
affordable.
Again, this is the world if I have the money.
Okay.
And I just buy one for $20,000 and I rip the motor out and, I'm done.
Okay.
Drop it in.
Cool.
Yep.
Anything else? Because I have one final thing.
I have nothing else, my friend.
Okay. I actually would like to take a moment to take a trip down memory lane, and it's only because of what I just saw up here. And oftentimes I think obviously we've said it on countless occasions how we used to run events, and perhaps many people that are like, yeah, okay, sure. And it was just so long ago that obviously the people that were around weren't, they're not around anymore. Obviously they moved on to other things. But as I was going through and experiencing, I guess you could say, the 20-year anniversary of the SFL Drifters website. And
Really? It's 20 years?
yeah, it's 20 years.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know it was going to hit you that bad.
Yeah, that's... Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah. It's
I
been
wasn't
a while.
around for the full 20 years, though.
No. You weren't. I was. And so I was kind of, a bit of backstory. I was getting some things together to, because I want to be able to like repost this stuff, and it's coming along, but it's just sort of there's just a bunch of other things that are taking place right now. All of my attention is just to the LS Fest that's happening next month. I already got some of the thumbnails for the live stream and working out some of the logistics of it. So hopefully hoping to level it up for sure, because we want to do bigger and better things in regards to that. But going back to this thing, as I was going through all of my files, I just happened to come across this video project that I had completely forgotten about. And it's just very funny how it's just immediately when I saw it, I knew what it was. I knew that it had never been published.
Okay.
And I knew that at that point in time that it's like, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing and actually focus on this and put it out. And back when we were hosting events at Countyline Dragway, Drift Sessions, SFL Drifters, we were... I had the idea of trying to do some sort of recap video to kind of give everybody, especially the people that weren't following the series, sort of a sense of all of the kind of the stories that were taking place at the events. Just one of the notable ones is that back then Nick Ward, who everybody now knows with Taxi Garage, Nick Ward came over from Georgia and immediately was a force to be reckoned with, especially with his Ellis build S14, and immediately just had this. I don't know if you want to call it a rivalry, but it was just this thing with him and Bert Avalos.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm trying to get at is that it wasn't necessarily a rivalry. There wasn't any bad blood between them.
But it was almost like Tokyo Drift, where the guy comes from the country.
Oh yeah.
And then you have like Kenshi Tsuchiya or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just like, always just kind of smoke a cigarette next to the. I mean, it was literally
Yes.
living it out and watching this rivalry where this kid comes from the country with his V8 powered American muscle, and then you have Bert, Filipino, I believe, right?
Yes.
Coming over and doing the events with his. I believe he was. I don't think it was it K powered? It was at that time. It was F20 powered. I think.
Yes, correct.
F20 powered Toyota Corolla, and totally,
just to clarify, F20, that is the engine from the Honda S2000.
correct, and his '86 Corolla.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And at the time, Bert was one of our top tier local drivers, and when I think nobody expected the kind of battles the back and forth battles that were going to take place between both Nick Ward and Bert throughout the series, the King of Countyline series, because we kid you not, and I don't know if it was just sort of our inexperience with the judges that we had to put in place that didn't really know how to nitpick or so forth, but it was just so. I mean, even from our end, when we weren't judging. It was just very difficult to kind of get a sense of who was a better driver at each event. Yeah. Because each event or every other event, it was either Bert or Nick who had the slight advantage.
Right.
And it was only just that slight advantage that just got them the win. And if round one went to Nick Ward, round two went to Bert.
Yeah.
And it was just going back and forth until the final round where it just basically came down to the final round to figure out like who was going to be the crown the king.
I miss Bert. Bert definitely brings that Bunta vibe, like just like kind of just doesn't really say much, not really saying much. Always smoking a cigarette and just kind of, but then get behind the wheel, and he was always an animal behind the wheel, especially back in that time.
Yeah.
So
and one of the things, and for me, one of the things that stands out to me as a the makings of a good driver is how consistent can they be? Because you could put out a killer run, but can you consistently pull out a killer run?
Right.
And oftentimes you don't see that. You see the just irregularities or just sort of the inconsistencies or just, like for instance, just Sean Love for, I don't know, that just popped up. Just Sean Love, like great driver, and he could put down a sick run, but for whatever reason, something happens. I guess the butterflies hits, and he spectacularly just went off the course because he just sent it. Yeah, probably
fell asleep.
So sent it too hard. But so let me just go ahead and
are you gonna play
let
it?
me just pull this.
How long is the video?
It's only 6 minutes long.
Okay. Do you want to end? And then just end with the video, or you want to come back after the video's over?
I want to come back after.
Okay,
just to reflect on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Let me just go full screen there, and then let's just bring everybody in. And this is to.
I think you got to rewind it a little bit.
It's really at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. And to go back, this is my attempt to do a recap video of our King of Countyline series back in
2013.
Yeah, 2013. And this was the recap for round 3. Let's go ahead and do that. KP's the way to be.
Yep.
And then it's Nick Ward following along.
Round 3 of the Countyline series returns to Countyline Dragway.
Cars pulling in. You know how many times I had to pick that lock to get us in?
KP, look at that.
That was Conklin.
Here to tell us
Is
more
that
about
Jackson?
the
Yeah, that's world
It's
famous
famous.
Chris Jackson. Yeah.
All right. Well, today we're out here at King
Hey,
of
look
Countyline
how
round 3.
skinny I was. Look how much
Hot
I
out
was
today,
sweating.
so everybody's trying to stay hydrated. It's the sun's
You were
beating down, but
expecting
at least we're
that
not getting any
in,
rain, so we're able
Oh,
to
yeah.
California.
keep
Yeah,
the
for
event
sure.
going. Today we are round 3, like I said before, of the King of Countyline series. Last round we were at USDC at the Dolphin Stadium. This round we're back home at Countyline Dragway. We got about 26 cars trying to compete for a top 16 tandem field. We just ran through qualifying. Group 1 and Group 2. So now the judges are deliberating, getting the scores together, tallying up,
No!
going
the
through
Holy
and establishing the grid.
Hey, look,
in a
Mike
little bit, we're
and
getting ready
Josh
to
and Fink.
do the
yeah.
pre-tandem drivers meeting, where we let the drivers know who qualified,
I
what
messed your
place they
pants on.
qualified, and who they're going to be going against.
Hey,
and then
look
we're going
at
to bring
Alec.
everybody down to the track. We're going to announce them to the crowd, and then get right into the top 16. Go through top 16, work our way through the grid. We have some probably newcomers that haven't been here long, looking very promising. But I think right now the two top contenders are going to be Nick Ward and Bert Abalos.
That's Bert with the F20. That's 1,000 power. Sean the Queen. JJ.
Isn't that Gabriel, right?
Yeah. Not our
Not our
Gabby
Gabby,
Garbanzo. There's Pep.
Yep.
Bert again.
Is that,
Second turn track, yes.
now you want to say that's Chelsea, but that's not.
No. But
It's very similar.
Yeah. That's Randy.
That was Randy in the Mustang.
Yeah, not Noah.
No, not Randy. No, that's actually
Becky's car.
yeah, that's Iggy's car, and Margaritas drove that car.
Yes. I drove it too.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
Happy.
I'm Bill Stenger. We're here at County Line Dragway for King of Countyline round 3, I believe. And we are ready. We've been invited to drive EST Performance at BMW. It's got a 5-liter
beer.
Ford with twin turbos, big WiseFab steering angle kit, and we're really excited to come out here and be able to drive this vehicle. Our regular Nissan is still overseas or on its way back or somewhere lost in the abyss. So
That's
we're
Randy.
honored to
Yeah,
be able
that's
to come
Noah
out
there.
and be able to put a show in
Hey.
together with this BMW.
Family show.
I'm excited to see. It's a totally different driving habit for me, so I'm really excited to see how we do and what we can make this vehicle do. It should be really capable. So we got bright
Should be.
sun out here blinding us already at 9. So it's going to be a nice, beautiful, fun day today. We're going to party and try to throw out some smoke and stuff. This is my first time driving a BMW, a 5-liter Ford, and WiseFab. So it's going to be very, very different. I got to jump in it yesterday in a parking lot, a little test slide. It was like about 2 minutes worth. I finally managed to link a circle without spinning out. So it's very, very different from my style, and it's going to take some getting used to for me. It's totally different, but I like the cockpit. I like the car so far, and just got to make myself into it. Being King of Countyline is great. I just love everyone that's here. King, no king, I always feel welcome every time I come. Everyone, they're super nice, and it's just a fun event. Win, lose, draw, it doesn't matter. You come here, you're going to have fun. Even if it's 2,000 degrees and you're melting from the sun, it's still fun. So it's nice to be here with everyone. Last remarks, go watch this smoke show we're going to try to throw down with backwards WiseFab angle. Ought to be fun.
Hey, my name is Bert Avalos, and I drive an AE86 with an F20 motor. And today we're here at County Line for round 3 for King of Countyline, and it's gonna be hot today, real hot. I can feel it. It's gonna be hot inside the car, outside, full helmet,
Hot.
gloves, and hope everybody's not being affected by it. And yeah,
Man, a
we'll
few
see.
words.
We got some good drivers
Yeah,
out
very
here.
few.
We got KP, Bill, a few more people. No concerns. Just have fun out there,
Hi, I'm Nick Ward. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Look at Nick.
Now reside in Miami, Florida.
You gotta
It's a
send this
beautiful
to Nick.
Sunshine State. Today, round 3 of King of Countyline. I had a
Same
first place
car? He
finish
still has the same car?
overall.
Yeah.
Really a good feeling after coming from the second round, placing second to Bert. One more time, and a great battle with him. I ended up in second. So this time, went a little bit better for my way. Car's super reliable, great setup. I had enough tires, I was prepared, and ultimately won. Today I had a big problem with me staying cool and hydrated. It's super hot down here, and my car inside's really hot. Like, I've done a lot of, trying to shed the heat on the inside of the car. My car is always, engine-wise, temperature's fine. inside the car with the headers and, you know, dual exhaust going all the way underneath the center of the car, it's hard to keep the inside of the cabin cool. So, you know, it's a real big battle to stay cool physically. Next, the steering angle. I've been trying to work on this now for about a year. So we got some stuff in development. You know, I can't justify spending a bunch of money when I need things other places that, you know, still stock steering angle, and I'm doing okay. But, you know, the car will be better once I have a little bit more angle. I love drift sessions. You know, King of Countyline's great. You know, I really want to thank Torque Speed Lab in Miramar, Florida. You know, the in-house did my vehicle wrap, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's it. Interesting.
Yeah.
You still have more footage from that time or no? Or not from that event?
From that event, it's only like kind of like minor like B-roll footage.
Right.
But nothing, I would say like significant. But that was the meat of it for the most part. Because I remember, it was funny. It was back in the day. I was just, I think I just did that with an iPhone and an iPad.
Yeah.
And I just, no, I take it back. No, it was an iPad I used. Yes, but I had one of those like point and shoot Canon cameras to shoot some of the action, and yeah, I think that's how I got to capture some of it.
Wow, memory lane, man. Memory lane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Remember going to Applebee's?
Oh yeah,
after all the events, we always go to Applebee's.
Yeah,
take over Applebee's. That was always fun.
Yeah.
Always seeing Noah there as well.
Yeah. Just working on this kind of just reminded me of just a hashtag that we were to kind of draw out to people's like hashtag stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And how even back then we were just telling everybody it's like it's hot, stay hydrated, do something, and it's like we're still kind of repeating the same ideas.
I mean, we would show up at like, because we had to set up the event the day of, and we had a bunch of those tire rings. Deck actually came later on. Yeah. And truck full of tire rings, people not at the gate. I'm picking the lock to get in the gate, and we're setting up the track at like 7:30 in the morning. So by the time, like when I was probably taking that video, it was probably like 9 o'clock in the morning. I was already sweating like crazy. And that's just how hot and humid it is down here.
Yeah. That was that.
And that's literally across the street from the Everglades.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, like you mentioned, and it was a mad dash just to get everybody teched quickly, and then just to be able to kind of.
Well, we would tech people in line because we didn't want to affect the show. We would tech people in line with their cars on our trailer, get them teched, and then that way we can get the event started. You know.
Yeah, and that was a year too. I think that was the first time we decided to do it at different places. Because traditionally we would have it at
Countyline only.
Kind of the Countyline Dragway, but we sort of kind of did a loop around or loophole by basically saying like the Dolphin Stadium, it's on Countyline Road, right?
Yeah, it was. It was on Countyline Road. So I mean, yeah, because I was wearing my my firefighter hat, so I'd already done the fire academy and everything. So that was definitely towards the later end of the Countyline legacy, as you will. Yeah. Wow, good memories.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just so difficult to try to remember any more of what happened at that event because it was just that far back.
Yeah.
But I was definitely happy to come across that and just to be able to put that out. And I wish I could have done more, but I mean, at the time, I don't remember exactly what it was that didn't allow me to do that.
Yeah. So round 1, 2013. I'm just kind of looking back here at some ongoing YouTube, and you can see some of the stuff. Yeah, a lot of good videos. Man, I'm gonna have to just take a trip down memory lane. Yeah, if you guys ever want to look and see what was going on back in 2013 down in Miami, Florida, just type in King of Countyline in YouTube, and you'll find a ton of videos. There's a lot of videos here. Actually, you know what? One of the best videos was, and it was just like an 8-minute video, was JJ and his crew. That was a good one. Street Legal.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, that was a pretty good video. But anyhow, thank you for that trip down memory lane.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, like I saw it and I was just, I was like, oh, I need to finish this. I need to fulfill the legacy of.
Why does Paul have a little?
Oh, that was a little highlight.
Oh, is that what it was?
Oh,
Okay.
from back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, irrelevant now, but
Yeah. Well, still irrelevant, but doesn't matter.
yeah. No, that was the
Nothing's
one.
changed.
Yeah, that was one where we were talking about. Who was it again? Alec Hollandale.
Oh, okay.
And Taylor Ray.
Yeah.
When it was at Clutch Shakers.
Mm-hmm.
There was that controversial contact or something. I forget.
Yeah, I remember that.
But
Good deal.
I'll probably be putting out some more content in some form through SFL Drifters and anything that's related or that's tied with drift sessions. I'll go ahead and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was just definitely good to see that. It's definitely weird to see just that's about like what 11 years of a difference, give or take,
From when?
so 2013 to now.
Yeah,
It's about 11 years.
About 11
It was
years.
just sort of how people have grown, have changed, and just looking at you.
Yeah, I mean, we all changed, man, a lot. So, I mean, 15 years ago, the Gearheads came out. I'm looking at that video. So that was what? So, yeah, it's like 2011 ish. Yeah, good times, man.
I also found some photos of the BMW.
The silver.
When it was in good running condition. When you had the I don't know, wrap, livery, so forth with the was it the flag
Gold?
or the team? What's it again?
Oh, so I had it green.
Yeah.
Okay, that was towards the end of towards a little later on when I was competing pro-am.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. And then I did it blue, and then Jackson got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but wow.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah, it definitely was.
All right. So, to close this out, and like I mentioned already, we are full steam ahead, focused on LS Fest. Happening next month, September 6th through the 8th at Bowling Green, Kentucky. We're going to be there putting together the broadcast and bringing you some behind-the-scenes footage of all of the things that are going to be unfolding there. It's the biggest LS Fest event of the year, every year, and there's a good reason for it because the things to see and do there are just, it's really, you really need more than one day. And I mean, it's a whole weekend, but you really need more than one day to be able to take it all and experience it. But definitely worth it. And it's also worth checking out the broadcast to kind of, you get a sense of the scale of it. And also the competition. I think this year the competition is going to be very tough for Jonathan Aaron in order to be able to be the 3-time back-to-back champion because he's won it twice.
Yeah,
in these last 2 years.
And Ben Hobson, I mean, he came out to Vegas and he took it away pretty good. So we'll see how he does at Bowling Green, Beach Bend Raceway, Kentucky. You're talking about Kentucky, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Kentucky. But why would Ben Hobson be at LS Fest?
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking same place, but I'm thinking Ford Fest, right? Because he was at LA, but he did come to LS Fest in Vegas one year.
Yes, he did.
But he's not going to come to LS Fest. He's going to go to Ford Fest only.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
All right.
Unless they decide to drop in an LS in the Ford chassis, but I highly doubt.
Or he'd bring back his other car, but he's probably not allowed to drive a Chevy anymore.
No, definitely. I'm sure. Definitely not. Yeah. So. Expect that for drivers that are I mean, if you happen to be watching this, please fill out the questionnaire. Really appreciate that. And we're just going to be bugging you, especially at the event for other things. But other than that, Tim, anything else you want to add?
No, I'm looking at videos back in the day now.
Oh,
you got me all like sparked. I'm like going back and watching videos. Good times.
And so, one final thing. We have one more show before the Ellis Fest event. So we'll be back 2 weeks from now with Paul, hopefully in better mood, better spirits. So that way then we could just bother him about his flight lessons that he's been taking. So we'll see how many drones he's crashed from now until then. In any case, thank you folks for watching, and we hope to catch you next time. Take care and good night.